Hey guys, this is Samuel to the Geek, and this is going to be my Samuel Answers. I'm just going to answer comments that I find interesting on the last couple videos of mine. And let's start off with the Wii U one. Let me address all the comments in the Wii U video because people really hate on me for that one. Alright, the economic argument, the economy is too bad. In economic times, entertainment industries actually, explode and are extremely profitable because people need distractions. In 2008, the video game industry saw profits of unseemly amounts. They could never have predicted that. And the video game industry was actually worried that they would be hit by the economic collapse, but it actually helped them. And every entertainment industry was helped by the economic collapse because people need distractions. And the only industry that was really hurt was the movie theater industry. One, because it was expensive, and two, because more people were spending time at home playing things like video games and watching DVDs than actually going out and seeing movies. The only economic argument that you can make for the Nintendo is that, they didn't have enough money because of bad economic sales with the 3DS and bad economic sales with some of the recent games, that it hurt them so much that they couldn't afford advertising for the Wii U in specific areas or online. However, it didn't prevent, the economic crisis couldn't have made them and forced them to use a terrible name like Wii U and terribly branded the system and didn't do a good job of explaining the system to Jimmy Fallon before he said it was an accessory. So the Wii U had the Wii U's turmoil had very little to do with the economic turmoil and had more to do with Nintendo's bad advertising and bad branding. Alright, now it had more systems and units out there than previous systems. While this may be true a little bit, I'm not sure. I don't think it had more out there than the Wii. You see most systems sell out. Almost every single system in the history of video games has sold out day one. The Wii U and the Sega Saturn are the only ones that I can currently think of that from major video game companies that did not sell out day one and had horrible launches like this. It's very surprising that the Wii U, counting the Wii's gigantic success and, the Wii's major branding, did not sell out day one. And it has everything to do with the fact that Nintendo did not advertise it and there was absolutely no hype for the system. A lot of gamers didn't even know it was coming out on Sunday. Alright, now the final argument that most people used was that it was selling out and then it was just my area. And that's not true. A lot of people have basic systems. The deluxe system is very hard to find and it's extremely difficult to find, but the basic system is widely available. The 8GB system you can find at almost any Walmart that is not in an area with over 1 million people. So yes, white systems are even in places like Albuquerque, the biggest city in my state with over 600,000 people, and there are areas with basic sets. So it's not that the Wii U is not available, it's that the Wii U is only known by the hardcore gamers, and the hardcore gamers are not going to buy a basic set. And if the casual gamers were as hyped up about the Wii U as they were other platforms, then they would have bought it. So there's the arguments for all the Wii against all those things in the Wii U. So during the economic crisis in 2008, the entertainment industry did fine. That is not a valid argument. Alright, now let's go to the Call of Duty Black Ops 2 review. Now let's look at some of the specific comments here. Bullshit review, Sam. The game is really good. Best COD since Black Ops 1. The hell are you talking about? Zombies. It has improved so much. So has the multiplayer, and the single player is epic. You don't know what you're talking about. From GTA 5 Rocks 108. Or GTA V. Well, anyway, I'm going to address this one by one. The zombies has not massively improved since Black Ops 1. It has not massively changed so much that you could see the massive improvement that you could from Call of Duty World at War to Black Ops 1. The improvements from zombies from Call of Duty World at War to Black Ops 1 was massive. They dramatically changed the game and made it more accessible and made it its own thing. Black Ops 2, it's more like they updated it a little bit. It didn't have a massive improvement. There was no dramatic changes. It wasn't something from like Gears of War 2 to Gears of War 3's Horde. Like, it's pretty much stayed almost identical to Black Ops 1. So as the multiplayer, even the multiplayer from Modern Warfare 2 to Black Ops 1 had massive improvements, tons of new game modes, etc. Even Modern Warfare 3 from Black Ops 1, where they added, kill confirmed and all that stuff, and, they massively improved Spec Ops and everything. Like, there was dramatic changes in all the Call of Duties except for Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 has not had that much of an improvement over its predecessors and is pretty much almost identical carbon copy of Black Ops 1 when it comes to multiplayer and zombies. And that's not something that could be said about Modern Warfare 3 to Modern Warfare 2. So no, the multiplayer and zombies was very lazily worked upon, and they were just minor improvements to help balance the game. It wasn't a massive improvement to the multiplayer. And same goes for zombies. The single player, I guess you can say you liked it. I didn't. I thought it was horrible. And Sam, you could have saved us all the 15 minutes by saying, I dick ride Halo 4 harder than Brie Olson, and I only play first-person shooters for the campaign. Black Ops 2 is the best COD. Graphically, it's weak, but the branching paths and the story are awesome. The battlefield is more open and wide in terms of alternate routes that give you tactical advantage and items and weapons. Strike Force takes some getting used to, but I applaud the attempt of diversity from Treyarch, from Mikaman 3000. Alright, Mikaman, I'm sorry, but it's not the same as... it's not the same as World at War. World at War had a much bigger and wide open landscape that you could have tactical advantages in. Just the, I'm sorry, but the level where you can storm the beach of Normandy alone had more diversity and more openness than almost the entirety of the Black Ops 2 campaign. If you go back and play some of the older CODs, you'll come to realize that it definitely does not have the best story, and it definitely does not have the best and biggest wide open areas and largest selection of weapons. Black Ops 2 only has the largest selection of weapons because it lets you spawn with any weapon you want at the beginning of each level, and provides unfair tactical advantage to yourself. Also has ammo drops and ridiculous amounts of stuff everywhere to help guide the player through this experience and basically walk you through it. Black Ops 2 is the easiest Call of Duty, and maybe that's why you like it. I'm sorry, but that seems to be the case. Black Ops 2 is not more widely and has tactical advantages because you don't need tactical advantages. You spawn with a light machine gun and you go in, and every person there dies with one bullet. It all depends on the size of the magazine. It doesn't depend on skill or anything else. Because of the auto-aim and various other things helping you along, like ammo drops, there's no way in hell that you could lose at this Call of Duty game without actually trying to. Even veteran mode was surprisingly easy when I tried it out. Alright. Now, let's go on to some of the other comments that I got. And some of them were 343 has fixed the first-person genre. Alright. Let me find one of the most interesting ones here. One of the only ones I could say that I could respond to. From Mr. Master Sushi. A couple of years ago, you were complaining about how the Mario franchise is completely repetitive. I don't see what makes this any different than any other Halo game. Well, I can get into how the Halo games are all different for days. But for example, in Halo 3 ODST from Halo 3, games that are barely different, one of the biggest changes is that you can't dual wield, dramatically, decreasing how powerful your character is at a medium distance. You can also say, there's tons more power-ups in Halo 3, and then the way reach change dramatically affected the game. For example, Armor Lock alone, one of the only few perks of the game, would destroy any weapon. Now, like any big, giant power weapon, like rockets and any big vehicles, they had no chance against Armor Lock because the Armor Lock would destroy the vehicle, and it made vehicles pretty much useless. So when vehicles were useless, that dramatically changed how you'd play the game in big team battles and such. So those are just two examples, but in Halo 4, like, the loadout changes alone completely changed the landscape of the game. My criticism of the Mario games is that you play them almost virtually the same as you have since 64 for the 3D ones, and come on, there is no innovation in 2D Mario. They're pretty much exactly the same as they were since Super Mario Bros. 3, like almost down to the power-ups. Sure, you have multiplayer now, but even multiplayer in the franchise has been in there since the relaunch of the 1985 classic Super Mario Bros. On the Game Boy Color in Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. And honestly, the racing type multiplayer is a lot better than the co-op type multiplayer that you saw in New Super Mario Bros. Wii and New Super Mario Bros. U. It actually made sense, and it didn't frustrate the hell out of other people. So, you know, competitive multiplayer is automatically better than co-op multiplayer for that franchise. So it's the fact that Nintendo doesn't even try.